Dropouts. So it's
Just a heads up, I'm going to bring us live right now.
cool.
So we're on there. What's going on, everybody? This is Pale Poner from 239 Hockey with Farbsy. We got the Space Force versus Championship Dropouts tonight. Should be starting up momentarily. It looks like Dalai Lama is getting his guys into a group and getting ready to go. Farbsy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I can't believe how many friends Dalai Lama has. I don't have that many people I still associate with in real life. Even before the pandemic, I wasn't at 105 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd have that many Facebook friends because I haven't talked to those people since high school or college. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm excited about this matchup. It's going to be a fun series, and excited that I've got a T-shirt in the merch store, and we're raising money for charity too. So that's been great. It was good working with you, getting that design ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you haven't yet, check that out. It's on 239hockey.net in the store section. We have a Farbsy special shirt collabed with yours truly, Farbsy.
Mine truly, yeah.
Yeah, and any proceeds on that shirt is going to go to Hockey Fights Cancer. Check that out. We can throw a link actually in the chat. Let's do that. And just see if we can get some people to go over there and take a look.
Yeah, I've got I actually have a shorthand one also. I created like that custom short one, so it's tiny.cc/Farbsy HFC with the F and HFC capitalized. With the F and HF in the chat there. So
cool.
Yeah, so either way,
yep.
Those will take care of that. So yes, you do sound awake. That's always good.
Thanks, Silver. I appreciate it.
How could you not be awake? We've got we got one full NHL game still to come later on tonight, and we got a third period for the Penguins and Canadians. I mean, it's hard to sleep right now with how much hockey there is finally going on in the world.
Yeah, lots of hockey going on. It's really exciting. I've really enjoyed it. Having the game like from 12 o'clock in the afternoon, basically until 10:30 at night, when the last game starts. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. I've really enjoyed having it back. People have been missing sports for a long while. We've had 239, obviously. We've had that to sit back on, but it's really cool to see sports back, and the NHL has done a really good job with their presentation. We were talking about that a little while ago,
yeah.
But they've also done a really good job managing the virus. I'd argue that they've done the best out of all four professional sports so far. We haven't seen what the football's plan is yet, but I just read that Doug Peterson has it, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the NFL is able to do. There are a lot of players that have opted out already at this point, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, how many New England Patriots have already backed out just from that one team? And obviously that starts every conspiracy theory possible about they let Tom Brady is left for Tampa Bay, and so obviously everyone's gonna leave, and it's but I mean, obviously there's a virus going around, so this isn't just a situation where they're like, oh, let's get the Patriots a really good draft pick because that's going to cost some current Patriots their jobs. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that when we get towards the fall. The NHL's done a great job. I mean, they just announced earlier today that with the thousands of tests they did leading into in the first week of this phase, in the last 7 days, that they had 0 positive test results for COVID of the I don't remember how many thousand they said tests that they ran, but that's awesome. It's great to see that. Hopefully Major League Baseball can, start getting closer to 0 than they have been.
That's a mess.
You don't want to see anybody get sick, but they're also now having the Cardinals are having issues where they've postponed the Field of Dreams game for a year because the Cardinals were supposed to play the White Sox in that. It's where they're supposed to be Cardinals and Yankees, I think, but with the way the scheduling is, they couldn't do that. So, hopefully, the NHL keeps healthy. Hopefully, the other leagues get, the NBA stays healthy and the other leagues get healthy so we can get some sports going with that. We do have a series here. It's Space Force taking on the championship Dropouts. It will be 3 games coming to you. So, taking a look some uniforms here. I like that color scheme. It's interesting. And then you kind of have the monochrome look as well on the side of Space Force, which makes sense. It's, you know, deep space. That looks almost like it's like a very, 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 very dark navy blue gone towards black.
Yep.
But kind of a cool color scheme there as we are underway here. Space Force and the championship dropouts. This will be 3 games. Now, we do have at least a sub for this game. Toth is playing in the left defenseman's position as Dalai Lama taking over at left wing. So he's on your screen with the green icon. Gets the puck on the feed, and just like that, Dalai Lama playing the forward position has his team on the board immediately. It is 1-0 Space Force.
Yeah, nice turnover by Power Kill in the offensive zone. He's playing center for this game. Turns the puck over and gets his. I think that was Anthrax that tossed that over the Dolly right after that. So good play by them.
Lots of names to keep track of when it comes to you know, the user icons and all of that good stuff. But here comes Dalai Lama yet again, now in the corner, up 1-0. Just try to drop that one. I think he tried to pull that one towards the corner, but we're going to get a power play opportunity now for Space Force. This is a young organization, Space Force, but they are just shooting for the stars. But unfortunately for them, that cost them a 2-minute penalty, and how aggressive they were on that play. But hey, they're up 1-0, so if you're going to take a penalty, might as well at least make sure you have the lead before you do that. And it was actually Dalai Lama going off as well. So get a goal, take a penalty. We'll see if his team can keep this 1-0 lead here, as that puck sent back towards neutral ice and all the way down by the championship dropouts, where it is chased down by Newfie Bruins. Re-entering the zone with the power play, 45 seconds left, and it's pushed right through the legs of the goaltender, Sir Puffington, but immediately waved off. You can see on the feed from Dangles, right towards the low slot area, Flode was down there and got a little bit of contact on it, but unfortunately for the dropouts, he also got some contact with Sir Puffington, and that keeps this as a 1-0 game. Dangles dropping it back. Trying to rush in deep is Bruins. He's in the corner, knocked off the puck, but played it up top again. A couple passes and a long shot taken, and the Sir making the hold. I don't really know how to shorten that one. I mean, I guess I could shorten it to Puffington. I think his player name is Puff, so I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he, I mean, I guess cuckoo for Sir Puffington? Is it a breakfast cereal reference? As we're back to 5-on-5, 6v6.
Based off of the numbers afterwards, I don't think so.
I mean, he's wearing jersey number 1. He could just be saying that Cocoa Puffs is the number 1 breakfast cereal.
All right, we can go with that.
You know,
Because we have Dalai Lama going down on 37. There we go.
Takes that quick shot, and a nice save is made by 37 in a row. I don't think that was his 37th save, but we'll see if he can get it, as we now have a long breakout pass, breakaway chance on the forehand, and a huge save by Puff on Flode. Still a puck loose down low in the slot, a chance for Dangles. Flode was rushing in as well, and a good job on, or getting back there by Toth, the late sub, coming in on D, and making sure to clear that puck out of harm's way after a couple of really big opportunities for the dropouts.
Giant saves by Sir Puffington. Great job keeping his team into it.
No second chance on that one, as you can see the Space Force just rushing into the zone. Dalai Lama's got the goalies in the corner. Quick feed, and the shot from Anthrax was turned aside. Another opportunity here. Power kill with it. Plays it back up top to the D and gets it down again. Power kill, pushed off the puck. He was trying to center it for Anthrax, but got knocked off of the puck before he could complete the pass. And now the race the other way for the dropouts, but they cannot complete the centering feed towards the slot. And Space Force will recover from their own end and try to move it out. That puck sent wide and dumped in and played now by the dropouts in the corner. Final 6 minutes and 5 seconds, now 6 minutes even, left in the first period. A 1-0 lead thanks to Dalai Lama. Championship dropouts trying to even things up before they head to the locker room, but here comes Dalai Lama leading the rush for Space Force. Turns it over just inside the offensive end, and the dropouts will move it out. Championship dropouts trying to get something set up with under 4.5 to play in the period, but they turn it over as Toth made the steal and feeds it up for power kill. dumps it in. Trying to chase it down was Anthrax, but he couldn't get there. Power Kill will force the turnover in the corner. Power Kill up along the boards, hands it to Dalai Lama. He creates a little bit of space. Dalai Lama moving towards the corner on the left side, down low for Power Kill. Or excuse me, yeah, for Power Kill, and he managed to center that one and was pushed on goal by Anthrax, and covering up is 37 in a row, who a recent addition to the championship dropouts, as he replaces Butcher's son as the main goaltender. Just 3 games, but a 2-0-1 record for 37 in a row, as he's been the goaltender for the dropouts.
Yeah, 37, I think, is a part-time player for them. He can only play in 1 series per week, and I think they've been riding Butcherson for the game, but for most of their games. But I think they just wanted a different look in net this game, and ended up going with 37 for the series.
I appreciate that clarification. It's and he's been pretty solid in net. Goals against average are right around 2.5. Save percentage barely north of 80, but that 2-0-1 record, that's quite the way to go. If you can get 5 points out of every 3-game series you play in, your team's going to be doing pretty well. Here's a rush to end the period, but the period will come to an end with the puck sitting right on the doorstep as 37 kept the puck out. It remains a 1-0 game in favor of Space Force on this goal by Dalai Lama.
Yeah, Space Force jumping out to the early lead. I thought that the championship dropouts had a couple of really good chances. I thought that they actually had a couple of better chances than what Space Force had, aside from the goal. They had a they had a big breakaway and then a rebound right after where they had a good chance on Puffington, but Puffington was able to stand tall and bail them out. It was a good period for both teams.
And they did get one past Puff, but did not count as it was waved off. Shots, yeah, pretty even in that period. Time on the attack, pretty even. 3 minutes to 2:24. So we are looking at a pretty even game. The 0-for-1 on the power play for the championship dropouts. They did not really have too many big opportunities on that one. But yes, like we said, that they did manage to push one past Sir Puffington, but it was waved off for goaltender interference. So 1 period in the books, as these teams will be headed towards a second. I know, obviously named after the new military branch, but every time I hear myself say Space Force, maybe it's a combination with the logo or something. Or a weird obsession with a movie I've only ever seen once, but I just want to do like the Zoltan thing from Dude, Where's My Car? I don't know why. Maybe because they were dressed all in bubble wrap and like obsessed with aliens and that sort of thing. But and that's never been a thing. Seeing it trend on Twitter repeatedly and the announcements of the thing, never been a situation where I've been like, oh, Zoltan. But this team playing, all of a sudden I hear myself say it out loud, and I'm like, Space Force, Zoltan. And just, I don't know if they need a mascot. Might I suggest?
I think it's actually in reference to the Steve Carell TV show on Netflix.
Was that named before or after the military branch was?
That's a good question, because I am not entirely sure. It had to have been in planning for a while. Because it came out right around the same time that the thing was announced for Trump, but I really don't know.
Yeah, and interesting. I do like I know that it's just one of the EA Sports logos, the one that's center ice for the Space Force. I actually prefer that one to the actual military branch logo, but there's a nice save made by Puff. The one for the military branch looks very, very, very similar to some Star Trek imagery.
Yeah.
And not that these logos from EA are like the end all be all, but I do enjoy that one. I think it's a very cool look with the space shuttle and all that thing, and it almost looks more militaristic too. With you got like the atom kind of thing circling a planet, and it combines some NASA things. As there's a nice feed, and Dalai Lama very quickly has his second goal of this game. It is 2-0 in favor of Space Force.
Yeah, big chances for championship dropouts on the other end, and Space Force was able to stop them. Puffington stood tall, and Space Force came down and got a goal out of it on the opposite rush.
Here's a chance again. Opting for the pass instead was Dalai Lama as he tried to get over to Power Kill. 2-0 lead in this game for Space Force, a 3-game series between the second place Space Force team and the 8th place championship Dropouts. Dropouts set up in the offensive end, trying to respond here and cut the lead in half. They managed to center the puck, but Flo just could not maintain possession for long enough in order to push one on net and test Puffington as that puck was cleared out of the zone. Power Kill dumps it in deep, trying to chase it down, and getting there first was Anthrax. It's played and kept in at the point by Toth, but his D-to-D pass was a little off the mark and moved out the other way by the Dropouts. And down low, the championship Dropouts, a beautiful move, and Dangles doing what his namesake would suggest, and also what Pavel Datsuk would probably do in that situation. Beautiful goal scored.
Yeah, just banks it off the back of the goalie there. Tough look for Puff. Wasn't able to get on the post for his team there, and gets an unlucky one going against them. I think Dangles was trying to pass that out front, and it just ended up hitting the skate and going in.
Sometimes that works. I mean, we saw that, I believe it was one of the goals the Penguins scored in Game 1 of their series against Montreal, where I think it was Crosby scored from beneath the goal line. Yep. And I remember seeing that and being like, I feel like I've seen that goal scored in some 2-3-9 action before, where it's, you get that weird sharp angle, but you're shooting for the back of the goaltender to try and bank it in. See that happen, I think, more in the video game world than in the NHL world, but hey, if it goes in, it goes in, and it counts all the same. It's a 2-1 game as the Dropouts have cut the lead in half, and Flo trying to get this game tied back up as he centered that puck. Puck was picked up and loose. Feed for Flo to hand it off, and that quick shot turned aside by Puff as he will hang on for the whistle. 4:19 to go.
Good plays by Flo and Agent there. Agent, saw that he had the puck in a good opportunity, and just ripped it. Wasn't able to get a goal on that one, but I like the shot selection there. Not really going for the pass in front. It looked like there wasn't a whole lot of room there.
Dalai Lama handing it off. Power Kill with it, moving behind and lost possession of the puck as it is now skated out by the Dropouts. Under 3 minutes to go here in the middle period. A 2-1 game. Each team with a goal in this period. Dalai Lama got his second, and just a few moments ago, this game had its first goal scored by the Dropouts as Dangles picked up the goal, and another big opportunity here for the Dropouts. They got one shot. Dangles again ripping a spinning slap shot on goal, but Sir Puffington coming up big and making the stop. And an offside whistle as that puck barely cleared the blue line before being touched again by the Dropouts. 1:03 left here in period number 2.
Yeah, starting to see some urgency from the Dropouts. Got a full period to play, but it looks like they're playing on their toes a little bit.
Time for maybe one more play. We will see what happens here. As entering the zone was Anthrax, but he lost it. Under 7 seconds to go. The puck going towards the corner. Probably going to be tied up, and it will be. We're going to go to the locker rooms. It is 2-1 in favor of Space Force. They had a 1-0 lead after one. The 1-goal lead remains, but the Dropouts have broken through for a goal as Dalai Lama, 2 goals for him to get his team the lead and extend that lead, which was at this point a crucial goal because that is why they're up 2-1 at this point.
Yeah, Dalai Lama getting on the board twice. Gets to play a little bit of offense tonight. Barrett 50 cal was not able to make the first game. I'm sure he'll be there for games 2 and 3. Yeah, Dolly getting on the board early, showing his team what needs to happen, how they're going to score.
Still plenty of hockey yet to be played as we take a look at the stats. And you can see the Dropouts, again, doing a really good job with the shots. They outshot them in that period 6-2. And you can see the time on the attack as well. It was basically the same in periods 1 and 2. About 3 minutes for the Dropouts, 2.5 minutes for Space Force in time on the attack. And if you're looking for a difference, it's that passing percentage, 84% versus 78% through 2 periods. Space Force being really just a strong team when it comes to connecting on the passes that they're throwing so far in this game. They're not taking too many big risks unless it's that last pass to try and center that puck and get one in the back of the net. But a really good job on them, just making sure that every pass they're throwing is hitting one of their teammates and connecting.
Oof.
Quick chance here right off of the opening faceoff to start the 3rd period here. And again, trying that wraparound try, but unable to get to the front of the net was Flowed. And a quick rush now the other way as the puck gets into the offensive end. thanks to Anthrax, before being turned over just inside the blue line. Entering the offensive zone, championship dropouts, getting it in deep, trying to get it back to a teammate was Agent, but that one was read and intercepted. Dalai Lama crossed the blue line. He's in the offensive end, tried to spin, but could not keep possession, and the dropouts will clear the zone. Nice back check and steal by Dalai Lama, handing it off. Power kill back for Dalai Lama along the sideboards, trying to center himself. Dalai Lama tried to take the shot, but fanned on it, makes the steal. Quick wrister and a nice save is made by 37 in a row.
Yeah, big save by 37. Tough look for the championship dropouts defense. They get pickpocketed in their own zone and just kind of abandoned the front of the net there. Lucky
another big turnover, another huge opportunity for Dalai Lama, but a nice toe save is made, and a centering feedback for Anthrax, but he got lit up in the low slot area. Space Force doing a great job of just controlling the play right now, as even when they have lost possession off of a shot and a rebound kind of situation, they are basically just taking it right back from the dropouts.
Yeah, that's a pretty signature offensive recipe for Power Kills teams. Whenever he's either captain a team or been on a team, they force a lot of turnovers in the slot for their teams. They're very tough to play against, very tough to break out on. It's just there's a lot of mess going on in front of your own goalie a lot of the times, and it leads to a lot of goals for him.
Neutral zone faceoff will end up going all the way back into the dropout zone, chased down and scooped up by the defenseman. That would be Bruins, and played across to his defensive partner. That would be Ian. They have exited the zone and now are entering the zone offensively. 11 minutes left to be played here in regulation time. A 2-1 lead. All the goals coming between the first and second period. Long shot turned aside. Nice kick save, and a rebound opportunity went right to Dangles, but could not capitalize, could not take a shot quickly enough to seriously test Puff on the second chance. Puck back in the offensive zone momentarily for Space Force, but before the dropouts made the steal and move it up the other way. Again, now trading possession a bit right between the tops of the circles. Here's a rush for Space Force. Down low with it was Power Kill. Centering feed, an opportunity. I don't know if that puck got all the way through on goal, but finally 37 will reach back, cover up, and get a whistle with just over 8 minutes to play.
Yeah, good saves by 37, keeping his team in there. About 8 minutes left to play. You really got to start getting up on your toes and making sure that you're playing up ice for championship dropouts. They need to get some chances quick.
Flo did a good job of winning that draw in the defensive end, but the dropouts unable to complete the long passes. They turned things over. Now, trying to re-enter the zone was Flo, but he spun with the puck and lost possession. Gets it right back. Fakes the shot. Tried to center and make that cross-ice pass, but right there to make the steal was Anthrax. Here comes Dalai Lama. Opportunity to try to get it back down for Anthrax, but the pass was just not hard enough to connect as it was intercepted. Dropouts offside, 5:33 left.
Yeah, nice play by Nefi Bruins in the defensive zone for the dropouts, intercepting that pass to Anthrax and putting his team up ice. Just unfortunate they went offside.
Neutral zone face-off won by the dropouts. Long shot taken was blocked. Good job there by Sidhu, getting in the shooting lane and dropping down to block it. Dalai Lama stays on side, gets it down low, gets it back, try to center that puck. It ends up being loose and picked up by Dalai Lama. Skating around at the defensive position. Dalai Lama hands it off to Sidhu, tried to maybe center himself, but got lit up and knocked down. Dalai Lama back checking here to cover for the defenseman that got taken down, but a quick shot, and this game is tied as the championship dropouts get on the board. It's Dangles with his second.
Great shot by Dangles. Sees that Puff isn't all the way on blocking that short side shot and takes it and ends up going in. 2-2 game with 2 minutes left. It's a big goal for them.
Huge opportunity, and now they're on the rush yet again, but that pass is blocked by Toth, and now Dalai Lama makes the pass to clear the zone. Dalai Lama will scoop up the puck and enter the zone onside. A little spin. Good job of staying onside when executing that spin. A really tight move as he gets taken down. The puck is touched. Minute 12 left in regulation, and a power play chance for Space Force. That's really big, too, because the final 60 seconds, all in real time. So interesting to see what they can do as they win the draw. Long, quick shot taken off the faceoff, but a big save made by 37, and the dropouts will clear the zone and send it all the way down.
Yeah, great puck possession in the zone by Dalai Lama leading up to that penalty. He just kind of forced them to take it. It was rotating around, just possessing the puck, and championship dropouts got a little bit aggressive with their pokes.
Here comes Dalai Lama trying to give his team the lead yet again, but he's pushed off the puck. Dalai Lama has 2 goals in this game. It is 2-2 and a power play chance here in the final 25 seconds of regulation. Sidu gets it down low, centering feed. The puck is loose on the doorstep and sprawling out, making the stop and covering up as 21 and a half left to go here in regulation time.
And power kill right on the doorstep. 37 shuts him down.
Power kill trying to win this faceoff in the offensive end. Ties it up. Dalai Lama scoops up the puck with some space. Dalai Lama hands it off. Sidu trying to get it back for power kill, but a good read and intercept by the defenseman. I believe that was Newfie Bruins, but a steal right back. Final 10 seconds of the period. Can Space Force get the game winner in the closing moments? Quick shot taken, but power kill denied, and a whistle drawn. 4.5 to go. So one last chance off of this faceoff. Power kill on the right side to try to win this puck to his defenseman Toth. We'll see if he can do it. Wins it clean. Toth, Dalai Lama, try to feed it down low instead of taking the shot, and we're headed to overtime.
Yeah, quick little play by Space Force on that face-off, trying to make something happen. I think Dali probably wanted that pass from Toth a little bit quicker so that he could one-time it, but made a good play trying to get it down low to power kill there, and almost succeeded in getting a goal there with no time left.
Dangles the snipe to tie this game up in regulation time, so we are going to overtime with the score at 2-2. Dangles has a pair for championship dropouts. Dalai Lama has a pair for Space Force. Hale, who you got? Who are your Butchie overtime challenge picks from each of these teams? Who's gonna have, are we going to see a hat trick, or what do we got?
Well, I mean, it would be easy to say, let's go with Dali and Dangles, but I think we're going to... I'm going to go with Anthrax for Space Force and Flowed for championship dropouts. Those are my picks.
I'm going to go with Dolly and Dangles.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. They got the hot sticks, so.
Hey, I mean, they've been fantastic in this game, and, basically just picking to get a hat trick to close this one out. But each team has earned a point in this game. But there is a little bit of penalty time still hanging over as Float stays in the box to begin this overtime period. Great job, by the way, by the dropouts, because that last 60 seconds being in real time was all on the penalty kill. And now the remaining 40 seconds here will be a little bit quicker before Float gets back on the ice as they send the puck all the way down. And basically, by the time Space Force is able to get back in the offensive end, we'll be back to 5-on-5, 6v6 hockey. And we are right now. Power kill, getting it down for Dalai Lama. He gets knocked down and off the puck, and it's scooped up by the dropouts, but stolen right back. Puck loose in the slot. A nice centering feed to try to get it down low by Anthrax. He was looking for power kill, but the pass just did not connect. Dropouts, long clearing pass connects. They're now in the offensive end. Ooh, you saw what they were trying to do on that little one-time feed, but it was just a little bit out of reach. Now delayed penalty coming against Space Force. As they touch the puck, it'll be a 2-minute power play opportunity for the dropouts. Going off for 2 is Dalai Lama.
Yeah, Ian the Marine has thrown a couple of really great passes through the neutral zone to Flowed. Big stretch passes with the sauce. He's looked really good with that.
Dropouts control off the draw. They have the puck behind the net. We'll see what they can do. And the spinning backhand wrap around. Game winner. It is all over in overtime. The championship dropouts capitalize on the power play as they get the game-winning goal in Game 1.
Seeing a defenseman all the way down there. Newfie Bruins putting the wraps on Sir Puffington. It's a big goal for him.
Neither of us had a defenseman to pick up the winner. And whew, what a move that was, just tucking that in. They've got a little bit of help from the positioning of Sidu, just taking advantage of where that skate was to kind of wrap it around not just the net, but wrap it around the shin pad as well to get a nice little quick release on that. Love those skates. Those I don't know whose those were. That were pink and blue, and it's wild. They just suddenly took up like a third of the screen on one of those replays. So, but yeah, big overtime winner for Newfie Bruins. Just his second goal of the season for the defenseman, but a big one. as that is the overtime winner. Championship Dropouts 14-10, out shooting their opponents. Only one shot in overtime, and it was that wraparound game winner by Newfie Bruins.
Yeah, championship dropouts. I thought that they played really well. They hung in there with Space Force. Space Force has been a really good team all season, but championship dropouts. They're in a playoff position as well. This could end up being a first round matchup as we only have about a week left in the season, and right now we're pretty close. These guys are 2-8, I think, at the moment. So it's pretty good. It's good hockey. I enjoyed that game. It was good back and forth hockey.
Absolutely solid and impressive as well. Championship Dropouts were down 2-0 in that game. They cut the lead in half in the second period. They tied things up about midway through the third, and then the game winner in overtime. So they win the game despite never holding the lead in the game. The only time they held the lead was as they scored the game winner. So not a bad performance. But as you mentioned, statistically, they were right there with Space Force throughout the game, despite the fact that they were trailing for the majority of that contest.
Yeah, shots were even, face-offs were even, time on attack was pretty close. It just comes down to power play goal. Championship dropouts were able to kill that power play at the end of the third period, beginning of overtime, and they came back, drew a penalty on their own, and capitalized almost immediately. It was right off the face-off. Newfie Bruins went down low and, just kind of played catch with Dangles for a second and took it behind. For the wrap, I think Dolly is rebooting his stream for a second so that we can get some actual audio here.
Yes, the stream is not over. We are just down with one game out of 3. So we've got plenty of hockey still to come on this stream. Ignore what you're seeing. Listen to what you're hearing on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good first game. It was a good start.
Yeah, exciting start to the series, and you know that the dropouts too, with where they are in the standings. I mean, every point is going to be crucial for them as a team that's currently in 8th, just trying to not just hang on to that spot in the playoffs, but to try and solidify themselves as a playoff team. Through 21 games here, they have played a lot of games when you're compared to a team like Space Force, who had only played 18 entering the day. So, Space Force may be even a little bit further ahead than the dropouts than the standings would indicate, but always good at, especially if this does end up being a first round matchup, as it very well could be. Always good to make sure that you send a bit of a message in addition to solidifying your own playoff standing.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, they got a lot to fight for. You look at the standings, there's a lot of teams that are in the mix for that last couple of playoff spots. I mean, That's No Moon, my team, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Championship Dropouts, Band of Brothers, even Low Expectations and Good News, realistically have a chance to squeak in there if they can go on a tear here at the end of the season. But, that's a big win for them, I think.
I know I ask the question every time that we mention the team, but would Low Expectations change their name if they ended up making the playoffs and, to increase the level of expectations they have? Or are they trying to use that if they make the playoffs as Low Expectations to maybe lull their opponents into a false sense of security?
Absolutely. I think the last one, they're 100% trying to, take advantage of their team name to advance and keep the expectations low for their team and the other team. I think end of the day, Low Expectations is just looking to try and go on a tear here and get into the playoffs as their goal for right now.
And quick update for those who might want it on the Pittsburgh Penguins and Montreal Canadiens game. Jason Zucker picking up the goal. The trade deadline acquisition getting on the board, so it is now 2-0 Pittsburgh. 5:19 to go in the third period, or it may be further along than that. I am watching through an app, so sometimes that ends up being delayed pretty decently, so you never know. But I've got that on I'm doing a multi-screen setup here, so I can keep an eye out on certain things and obviously focused on this series because game number 2 is going to be interesting. We were talking about going into the game that Toth stepping in as a sub, expected to be for one game, as you see that he's now left the party chat. So he will be out for game number 2. Dalai Lama, who moved up from his expected left defenseman position into left wing, really capitalized on the forward position, managing to score both goals for his team in that contest. So interesting to see what happens now as Barrett Fidycal joins the team for game number 2 of this series and what impact that may have as Dalai Lama shifts from offense back to defense where he typically plays for this team. And now Power Kill shifting back to left wing, or maybe he won't. It looks like he's may stay at center, but we'll see what happens as Barrett Fidycal joins here for this game. So how much does that change the dynamic when you've got a guy like Dalai Lama who scored 2 goals as a left wing in game 1, now shifting back to left D for game 2?
Yeah, I mean, Dolly's a guy that always plays a really strong two-way game no matter where he's at. He's one of the best defensive players in our league to begin with anyway. He's going to have to adjust a little bit. You can't necessarily do the same things on left D that you can do on left wing. Take the chances that you want to take. But he's a guy that can quickly adjust and get in there. I think the bigger change is just having Barrett 50 cal back in the lineup. Barrett plays a different style. He's a very puck possession heavy player. He wants the puck on his stick quite a bit. But he creates opportunities with that. He's like 5th in the league in scoring at the moment. He's a guy that can put the puck in the back of the net and Dolly knows that, and he's going to give him the space to do it.
Yeah, quite the increase in production. Not that he had a bad season or anything last season. I mean, 67 points in 31 games, but 25 goals, 30 assists in 17 games. He's basically almost matched last year's production in 2/3 of the games at this point. Unbelievably impressive, leading Space Force in goals, assists, and in points. And he holds that as well. Dalai Lama getting 2 goals, 1 assist back of Barrett Fidycal as far as the team leaders go in those statistical categories. But 2 points for him in that last game, but both goals. So quite the dynamic player to be adding. Toth just playing in the second game of the year, had 0 points in his first and was a -1. So quite the change to get a guy like him. It's nice when you could basically, okay, we earned 1 point, and now we're adding possibly our best offensive weapon for the next game.
Absolutely. Yep. They're gonna go into this game ready to go. They need to definitely adjust around him. That's something that they need to do, but they're used to it. They know what they need to do.
Another update for you on the Pittsburgh-Montreal situation. Kotkaniemi getting on the board, so lead cut in half with 2:09 left to go in that contest as Barrett Fidycal has joined. Is he a Buffalo Bills fan? Is that what that
he is? Yeah, he's a Buffalo fan. He lives in Buffalo. We have a lot of guys from Buffalo in this league.
Yeah, I mean it's I've been to Buffalo in. Okay, so Barrett Fidycal is playing as the center position, so the expected positions now as Power Kill shifts back to left wing as we would expect in this situation. I've been to Buffalo in, I believe it was May or early June, and it was beautiful. Great city. I've never been there in January or February. But I mean, that the timing of the pandemic has to be pretty brutal if you're in a place like Buffalo, if you're basically on lockdown for 6 months for the winter.
The only time when you can actually go out.
Right. And then it's like mid-March and you're like, man, we are on the verge of the most beautiful weather. Spring in the Northeast, right along the Great Lakes. And then, on lockdown throughout it. I mean, that's, the winters, just based off of all of the reports, I have friends that I went to college with that work in Buffalo. So I've follow them on Facebook, and I can see all their posts and all that stuff about the weather that's up there. And how long that seems to last. So man, that's got to be rough to basically to be potentially like 18 months on lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
It looks like we had a disconnect on the championship dropout side, so I think they're going to need to restart this. He dropped in the lobby. I really like the Space Force Aways. I didn't notice if they had it on the home jerseys, but the Aways, like the sleeves kind of just like meld into the white. It's like
it's the Tampa Bay Lightning alternate jersey, but just inverted a bit.
yeah,
With the fade.
The fade, yeah, it looks cool. I like that.
Yeah. I didn't notice that on the home jersey. I think that on the home one they have the more traditional sleeve striping. I could be wrong on that. I guess we'll see if they go back to their black jerseys for game number 3 in a little bit as we are trying to reconnect here.
Just the white double stripe.
Yeah, with the logo. So it's actually that almost looks like it's the Florida Panthers jersey layout because it's got the logo on the sleeve. Yeah. Although technically it could be Edmonton because the Oilers just don't have a secondary logo on their jerseys. So it may be Edmonton, and that's just positionally where EA allows for that logo to be placed because it has but no, there's a chest stripe, but it's half, so that would be the Panthers. The Oilers don't do that; they've got the shoulder things. So anyway, yeah, I like that. It's an interesting combination too, where you got the old Capitals stars down the side. So
yeah.
Nicely designed. I don't know if the actual Space Forces uniforms will look like that, but kind of cool. It's and I like the use of the logo that they have at center ice as their sleeve patch because it almost looks like a NASA mission patch.
Yeah, it always reminds me of NASA. I mean, obviously why it's got the space shuttle on it, but it looks really cool. I like those.
Yeah. Just under a minute left in the Penguins and Montreal game. Canadians have pulled the goalie, Carey Price, for the extra attacker, and Penguins missed the empty net by about 4 inches, so it ended up being an icing instead. So with 55.9, they've got a defensive zone face-off as we reconnect here for our Game 2. That is Game 2 of that series, where Montreal won the face-off, but all the way back to their own end, so they have to chase that.
For your other update, Connor McDavid has 2 goals already, so it's 2-0, and the Oilers are on the power play right now.
They are not wasting any time trying to even that series with Chicago, because that was a big surprise to see the Blackhawks end up 1-0 in that series. I would think that was more surprising than seeing Montreal pick up the win. I wasn't as much of a buyer on Montreal being like the team to pull the upset. Oh, again, Pittsburgh just missed the empty net from about 175 feet away, so it's an icing with 19 seconds left. But I mean, I did not have Chicago being a threat to Edmonton in that situation.
Yeah, me neither. Edmonton, I think, has a legit chance to go pretty far in the playoffs for the first time in forever. It looks McDavid scored 19 seconds into the first period, so it must have been right off the draw. Goes down the ice and scores right away. That's a pretty big statement.
Saw a similarly quick goal in one of the earlier games as the Penguins get an empty net goal with just under 10 seconds to go. And it's Jake Gensel back from injury picking up the empty net marker to make it a 3-1 game and a 1-1 series because 9.2 seconds, I think you would have to break the NHL record for quickest consecutive goals in order to tie this game up before overtime would forcing OT.
Yeah.
So pretty confident in saying the Penguins going to pick up a victory here in game number 2. And nice to be able to watch the end of that game before we get to game number 2 here. I think that's why there was a disconnect. Someone just wanted to watch the end of Pittsburgh-Montreal. The Canadians do take a quick shot on Matt Murray, second left in the game, and now it is final. So that is done. I'm switching that one off of that screen to go back to Soroka out for the year. Just got that update from Major League Baseball. Mike Soroka suffered a torn right Achilles tendon for any baseball fans. Might be listening as well.
How about Mark Scheifele? They said that it's not going to be very long term. That's kind of surprising with the injury that he could have had.
A good break for the Winnipeg Jets. They evened up their series earlier on today. I think Calgary. I think the winner of that series. I like Calgary to win that series, but I think the winner of that series is going
Yeah,
to be a threat.
they're
In this
both two
postseason.
really good teams. I liked watching that. I watched them today. That was a really entertaining game.
Yeah, it's. I think that they each have the roster makeup that if they win one playoff series, they could very easily win a second and a third, and that's that kind of thing. I mean, the Jets were in the Western Conference Final just 2 years ago.
Yep.
And Calgary's one of those teams that I always tend to pick. I always think that they're good value when you're looking at like betting odds. I think that they're always underappreciated because I think that they're one of those teams that, again, it's not that they're necessarily the best roster, but they're one of those teams where if the right guys catch fire at any point, no pun intended, like they could be the team to move to just like mow through people.
Yeah, Johnny Gaudreau, Monahan, Kachuk. They got a good team.
They're realistically a hot goaltender away from being a legit threat to just rush the league. As we had an Omaha turn into an icing here. Just under 6 minutes gone by here in the first period. Again, going up on your screen for this series is Space Force. They're wearing the white jerseys with the fade to black on the sleeves. And going down your screen, the championship dropouts wearing black as they have a big opportunity and they capitalize for the first goal of this game. It's their first lead of the night. It is Flode picking up the marker.
Yeah, good pass by, I think that was Ian throwing that down, seeing that Dangles was behind the defense, Dangles was able to get it, and threatened with the wraparound, but found Flode up in front for the easy tap-in.
1-0 championship dropouts. They picked up the win in OT in game number 1. Did not lead for any point of that game, but they have the lead here early in the first, and Dangles got tied up on the actual net trying to chase down that pass that was sent around the boards. But instead, it is Space Force in the offensive end. Trying to set up with an opportunity. Barrett Fiddycal lost possession behind the net, but a good job of recovering by Anthrax. Feed in front! And a goal as Power Kill has tied the game up at 1.
Yeah, quick dividends for inserting Barrett into the lineup. Gets down low, makes a good play behind, feeds it to Anthrax, and Anthrax finds Power Kill all alone out front.
Great play here, and now another opportunity is Power Kill leading the rush. Quick little wrister thrown on to 37, but he makes the stop and covers up just past the halfway point of period number 1. Faceoff will be to the right of 37, screen left, and it's won by the dropouts as they will try to set things up from their own end. They'll just have to flick it back towards center where it goes off of the stick of Dalai Lama and all the way down as he chases it back and hands it to his defensive partner, Sidhu. Back for Dalai Lama, and now he crosses the red line and makes the pass on ahead for Power Kill. And now Fiddycal, Barrett, tries to just push it towards the net. I think he lost possession, but managed to direct it right towards the post area. 37, hugging that post, covers up for the whistle.
Yeah, that was really close. I think there was a little bit of space there. He almost got that in.
Fiddycal winning the draw back for Dalai Lama, rips that wrister wide and into the boards. Chance now for Power Kill, but he's forced back towards neutral ice. Really good pressure at the point from championship dropouts. I believe that was Dangles getting up there and just forcing the play back towards neutral ice. Big opportunity again, but that centering feed from Power Kill was read and intercepted. Here comes Dalai Lama with the steal just inside the blue line. He gets taken down. Delayed penalty coming. Quick feed for Sidhu. His slap shot is on goal, but the save is made, and we get a whistle as a penalty has been called against Newfie Bruins.
Yeah, this has been all Space Force so far. They've had a lot of pressure, and now they got a power play to show for it.
Opportunity, but losing possession was Power Kill right off the draw, trying to pursue in the corner, but a good job of clearing the puck back towards center ice. And now championship dropouts manages to bring it across the blue line before turning it over and retreating to play some defense. 45 seconds gone by, and the power play is entering the zone is Anthrax, now in the corner. Anthrax moving with it, trying to set something up, gets it across the ice for Power Kill with a little bit of space. Power Kill up top for Sidhu, try to get it back, but the puck is low, Can they get a shot on goal? No, that one is blocked as Power Kill just shot it into a couple defenders. But here's another chance on the rush. That pass attempt as Anthrax was skating in. Barrett Fidical tried to get it over to him, but just ended up going off of a couple of skates and wide. We are now back to 5-on-5, 6v6 as the wraparound try by Power Kill is denied. Still a chance, a little backhander flicked on goal by Anthrax, and a save is made by 37. And Snoop Dogg joining us in the booth because when you get a series this good, the D-O-double-G wants to join us in the B-double-O-T-H.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg's coming in, man. He's,
Hey, always got to call attention to it when that happens. Quick little wraparound try goes off the side of the net from Barrett Fidical, and puck now scooped up by Barrett in the corner. Plays it on the head for Power Kill. Back for Barrett, and the cross-ice feed is knocked home by Anthrax. Beautiful pass, and the one-timer is sent to the back of the net.
Yeah, championship dropouts, I feel like they've been hanging on for dear life for a little while now, especially on that power play. They just have not been able to get out of their zone.
90 seconds left to go in this first period. It is a 2-1 game. Space Force with back-to-back goals to take the lead after Flode got the championship dropouts on the board first. Final 10 seconds are in real time. This is going to go for an icing with just under 9 seconds left to go. So an offensive zone draw coming for Space Force. Can they do something with it before the period is out? They've already got the lead. Can they expand on it going in the locker room? Barrett Fidical trying to win this draw. He's won 6 out of 10, make it 7 out of 11. Couple quick passes. Final 5 seconds. A wrister thrown on goal. The puck loose in the blue paint and covered up with just over 3 seconds to go by 37.
Yeah, lots of quick puck movement in the zone for Space Force. They're getting it around the perimeter quite a bit, and they're able to make plays happen off of that.
Tie up off the draw. Maybe a chance. Sea-Doo ripped that slap shot, but it ended up off a body and wide, and we go to the locker rooms with a 2-1 advantage in favor of Space Force, thanks to a couple of huge answer goals. But we want to go back to the first goal of this game, scored by Flode.
Yeah, Space Force dominated that second half of that period. Championship dropouts needs to get their legs back under them. They proved that they can hang with the team, so they need to get back to whatever they were doing in the first 10 minutes to be able to respond some to the onslaught that they took in the last 10 minutes of that period.
So a 2-1 game, and whoa, wham, when you look at those shots on goal, 8-1. Now, the upside is if you're championship dropouts, you're shooting 100%. The downside is your time on the attack is just 20 seconds, and your passing percentage is under 60. It is absolute domination from Space Force, statistically in that one, despite being 0 for 1 on the power play. I mean, Space Force just really, they gave up that first goal, that quick goal, and they just seem to get angry with it, just the way that they've responded in the numbers.
Yeah, they came out, they played really well, and they're going to try to continue what they were doing throughout most of that period.
We'll see if they can impress Snoop Dogg in the broadcast booth.
Rap pioneer and music icon.
Absolutely, and there's a quick shot taken. Nice little blast from Sea-Doo, but a good glove save made by 37. I wonder who Snoop Dogg would be pulling for in the postseason, because as we know from hearing the commentary over and over and over again from that interview, he's a big fan of PK Subban, who's not in the playoffs. PK's brother Malcolm Subban is for the Chicago Blackhawks. But he's also a Kings fan, being in Southern California, but the Kings not in the playoffs. So I wonder who Snoop would be watching this time of year, who he might be pulling for.
If I were to guess, I would guess the Golden Knights.
I could see that.
Seems like a very Vegas personality.
I mean, it's amazing. Have you been to a game out here? Because I live in Las Vegas. Have you been to a Golden Knights home game?
I have
before
not.
The world started to end?
No, I have not been there.
When the world is a little bit on the mend, I highly recommend it. If it means going to only one game instead of going to like 3, I would rather go to one game in Vegas than 3 games in a lot of other buildings. It is it is quite the atmosphere. It might be the best building in the NHL. It's certainly in the top 5 easily.
Cool.
Like undoubtedly, it is. That place is rocking before they even drop the puck. It's
Yep.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to see a new Seattle, how they react too. I have a feeling that that's gonna be a raucous crowd.
I mean, the way that they responded to those ticket drives, they sold 10,000 season tickets in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
They got deposits for that when they launched, and we have a tripping penalty coming against the championship dropouts. So going off to the box is the center, Flode, as he'll sit for 2 minutes on this trip. And yeah, just I like that he dove after doing the trip to be like, no, I was the one taken down.
Yeah, showing a little frustration, I think there.
Yeah. I do think that there needs to be a way to try to sell the official in this game.
Ooh.
Interesting little play there as that puck came off the backboards and interesting pass thrown by Puff. But power play chance for Space Force as they try to capitalize for the first time in this game. Quick shot taken by Dalai Lama, who got really low from the defensive position and ripped that slap shot on goal. 37 not allowing a rebound and hanging on for the whistle with him about a halfway through this Space Force power play. Barrett winning the draw back to Dalai Lama. He had 2 goals in game number 1. Circling with the puck, gets it across for Sea-Doo. Stepping in, now on the faceoff down on the right side. Loses it, but right towards the crease. As 37 will cover up. You can see Anthrax was in there trying to see if he could maybe just jab at it and knock it over top of 37 and in. But 37 doing a good job of making sure that he did not allow for that puck to be knocked past him. Tie up off the draw and a nice steal by Anthrax, playing it up top for Sea-Doo and back down low for Anthrax. Final 20 seconds of the power play. Pushed on goal and the rebound goes right back to Anthrax as he scores the power play marker. It is 3-1 on Anthrax's second goal of the game.
Great play by him to come out of that corner, attack the net. Tries to go far side, gets stuffed, and then gets his own rebound right back and won't be denied the second time.
For the second time tonight, Space Force holds a 2-goal lead. It evaporated in game 1 as the championship dropouts picked up a 3-2 overtime victory. This game has been all Space Force, complete domination. Can they build on it, or can the dropouts perhaps cut this lead back down to 1? A long shot taken generates a rebound chance. Big opportunities down low for the dropouts, but a good job there by Puff to just stay with that because it took a couple of weird bounces and generated a couple of opportunities for the dropouts down low.
Flo just couldn't pull the trigger there. I think he had a wide open net when he recovered it in the slot. I just don't think he was expecting to get it.
Nice little jab by Dalai Lama of the puck right on top of that center ice logo to intercept or knock away that long distance pass attempt by the dropouts. They're resetting in their own end. This is Ian with the puck. He'll go D to D with the pass to Newfie Bruins. Nice little spin move to just keep the puck away from Anthrax. And now the dropouts trying to enter the zone, but they are offside with just over 4 minutes to go here in the middle period of the middle game of our 3-game series.
Yeah, Space Force is a really strong defensive team. They get a 2-goal lead. I don't think they're gonna give it back again. They're gonna trap this team to death, and they're just not gonna let them have any offensive opportunities.
Power kill entering the zone, centered, put on net. That may have been their 10th shot of the period. They had 9 before that rush. I don't know if it will register as a shot, but Dalai Lama taking a penalty in neutral ice. He will sit for 2 minutes as another power play chance is coming for the championship dropouts, but a good tie-up on the face-off by Barrett Finneycal, but they cannot clear the zone. That shot from the high slot area was blocked and sent all the way down by power kill.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dolly. I think Sea-Doo's stick lift worked and took the puck off of Flode's stick, and when he went to stick lift as well, it slashed the player.
I do love that there is a button that can sometimes just be the slash button, but you can never get away with it.
It can also be the hook button as well,
right?
Which you have no control
it's
over
the penalty
whatsoever.
Button.
Yes,
that's really what that is. Do you want to take a chance? It's the penalty button. It's there should be a rating for players, we're back to 5-on-5, 6v6, in future games that allows for the players that tend to get away with penalties or have the ability to kind of be sneaky with it. That should be a rating. Like, how likely are you to get called for a penalty based off of, not in the sense of, like, as we go to the intermission here after 2 periods, a 3-1 lead for Space Force, not in the sense of, like, oh, they never call penalties against so-and-so, as much as there are a lot of players who have the ability to, because of the way that they play the game, to get away with little jabs and little chops and little slashes and that sort of thing, kind of hiding in plain sight or do a good job of positioning themselves where the officials just can't see it. And they don't do, it's not like a giant baseball swing slash, but they'll do little hacks at the back of the ankles or something to that extent.
Yeah, or on the gloves, yeah.
Right. I would love to see something like that where you could kind of actually see a hook or see a slash in the game and not have it called 100% of the time.
There
I know that
is,
gets into a weird, tricky territory. But.
Yeah, there is a discipline rating for players, and there's actually like rating, like for your sixes player, you can boost ratings in certain spots, obviously, and there is a thing that boosts the discipline rating for your player in sixes. I don't believe that there has been a single person in the history of sixes NHL to actually put that on, because I don't think that there's anything that does. I mean, I guess there's arbitrary like charging penalties and interference penalties that you see guys get away with here and there, but I really don't think that stat actually does anything.
I think that's more when you're in like the be a pro or the career mode
or franchise mode where you're simming games and you see whether guys are getting penalties or not.
Exactly, and there's a beautiful feed and another goal, this time scored by Barrett Fiddical. Beautiful feed from down low to make this a 4-1 game.
But it makes you wonder when they put in a boost for that for online sixes play, because you can't use your own player with those boosts and stuff for be a pro, I don't think, anyway. So I don't think it works like that. I think your ratings just go up and be a pro. You don't have like stick deflection mastery and stuff like that in that mode.
Yeah, and I think too it's more for like with that kind of situation where if you use the stick lift button, you're less likely to commit a slash instead or a high stick instead. Yeah, and it's like I would more like to see an additional one to that where it's like the get away with it button, where it's like, okay, the animation, your discipline may end up like, okay, you're gonna slash instead of stick lift in this situation, or hook instead of stick lift, but you're only gonna get called on it 80% of the time instead of 100% of the time, because your get away with it is 80 out of 100 or something.
Now I know a lot of to get away from it a little bit, but the Madden has this thing with like X factors in Madden where certain guys just have certain abilities to do certain things in certain situations and whatnot, and I think that would be a really cool addition for hockey, because there's definitely some guys that just do different things, bring different things to the table, that would be really cool to implement that. But I know that there's been a lot of backlash to that in the Madden community as well, because there's just like some things that are just like 100% with those X factors, and that's like, that just doesn't make sense. It's not realistic.
Right. I think that you can also implement certain things for certain modes and not have it, carry over to the online play, because it's one of those things where you don't want the fact that you're adding an X factor to someone to change the way, you want to go skill versus skill. You want to be able to pick the build of your players. We're going to have another penalty coming up against Space Force here. You want to be able to make sure that you are the more skilled person and not just, using Mike Vick in, what was that, Madden 04?
Yeah.
Or Madden 05, where he was just untouchable.
Yeah.
Or Bo Jackson going back to like Tecmo Super Bowl. No one needs, like, that doesn't take any skill. So for like online competitive play, that sort of thing is not, that one was dangerously close, but Puff reaching across to cover up for the whistle here as they are shorthanded in this situation. But like, there are certain things that you could implement for certain modes, because if you're playing franchise and it's by yourself, it's a pain anytime that if you're in that mode to be like, no, I try to lift the stick, and every time I try to lift the stick, it just hooks him or
Right.
slashes.
Yep.
And it's like, no, I could, like, if I'm using a player who's a 90-something overall, who's one of the superstars of the league, you know, Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, when they're trying to lift the stick, they're not going to hack away, or at the very least, they're not going to hack away at a point where they're going to get called
Right.
all the time. So, make that happen. If you're playing with a third line, fourth line player,
Oh,
if you're
wow.
William Karlsson and back checking, there's a huge save there. A big collision at center ice as well. Not giving up on this game here as that puck sent right towards the blue paint and just trickling wide for the dropouts. They are down by 3 with 5.5 to play here, pressuring on the power play as we're now back to 5-on-5, 6v6. I'll continue that thought when we have more of a lull in the action, but a huge opportunity and a big slap shot taken, but that one never got through as it was blocked by a couple players, and now a power play opportunity
hook.
for Space Force. Yeah, this kind of ties into what I've been talking about a little bit. I've never hit the button and been like, I hope this hooks the player.
Right.
But I've also never tried a poke check and been like, I hope this trips him.
Maybe in
that's
NHL
at least-
92 when you were allowed to do that.
So a power play opportunity here for Space Force as they're trying to basically put this one on ice. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing as the Golden Knights, for instance, and we're now going to have a 5-on-3, so that's a charge on that one. I would have said we could count the steps, but no replay on that one. But yeah, if you're playing as the Golden Knights and you're back checking as Mark Stone, you should probably have a little bit more leniency because Mark Stone is actually going to commit a penalty hook or high stick or slash way less often than if you're back checking as Ryan Reeves. And there's a beautiful feed. Barrett has his second of the period, this one on the power play.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know how they implement these things in the game. There's another hook.
Just like that. Yeah, this one's just getting out of hand now.
Yeah, championship dropouts, they had a decent amount of pressure on that power play and just before that power play, and they just weren't able to get a goal, and then they started taking penalties, and now they're in trouble. But you can take away from that power play and just before that power play when they had a little bit of pressure, whatever they were doing there, they need to go back to that for Game 3. Coming out of this game, they're gonna need to put more pressure on Space Force in their zone. They're gonna need to control the puck a little bit more to get another W.
Nice leaping, sprawling save made there by 37. Positionally, I think he was actually okay, but always nice to get one for the highlight reel. Final minute here as the power play for Space Force about to come to a close. So it's a 5-1 game. Space Force just seconds away from evening this series at 1 as we're back to 5-on-5, 6v6 hockey. They do have now, after 37 seconds from now, they'll have 3 points through 2 games. So a good performance by them at the very least to guarantee that they're going to average at least 1 point per, as Barrett nearly picking up a wraparound hat trick on that one.
Barrett had 37 swimming on that one, going back to back, post to post, and almost got it around. Newfie Bruins was there to help his goaltender out.
Looking for a natural hat trick if he could pick one up here, another goal in the next 20 seconds. He scored back-to-back here in the third period. Quick little rush here late in the game. Nice little glove save made by Puff, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 12.5 left to go in this contest. But yeah, the Dropouts will have 2 points through 2 games. Space Force 3 points through 2 games and a 1-0-1 mark. That's a little slap shot taken right off the draw by Newfie Bruins, but a save is made. Down to the final 5 seconds, and puck poked towards the end boards. Dalai Lama centers it, and that will do it for game number 2. Championship Dropouts jumped out to that 1-0 lead in the first few minutes of this game, but boy, oh boy, did Space Force turn it on and turn it up.
Yeah, championship dropouts came a long ways out of that first period where they had 20 seconds time on attack and only a single shot. But they're going to need to be even better for the third game here to get another 2 points out of this series, get the series win.
How much of an impact? Because we saw him pick up 2 goals late and had at least 1 or 2 assists early on as well. Uh, Barrett Fidical just added to this game because it seemed to be a pretty big difference to have him just in the lineup, and on top of that, to have Dalai Lama being able to play defensively because he contributed a lot offensively, but there were a lot of opportunities where Dalai Lama was able to just positionally just shut down attack attempts by the dropouts before they even crossed the red line.
Yeah, I mean, this is their main lineup. This is what they practice with. This is who they expect to be there to play. Um, so, you know, Barrett's going to bring a lot offensively. And Dolly is able to be a guy that's going to shut people down defensively, but also is still very much a threat offensively in the ozone as well. You see him at the blue line. He works the puck. He's comfortable up there with the puck, moving around and making plays. You know, it's a very complete team. They have 3 really great forwards, and Dolly and Sidhu, the husband and wife back there, are stalwarts defensively. They just need Puffinson to make the saves that he's supposed to make, and they're going to win most of their games. They have a really great team, and Barrett's a very large part of that.
When you're talking about points in the standings earned per game, they're now at 32 points through 20 games played, which is quite the number that I believe in points per game puts them at the top of the 239 standings. Doing the division quickly in my head, I believe that would put them ahead of Breaking Benjamins, who currently sits with 34 points through 24 games. So, I mean, really, you've got an opportunity to, with a few games in hand, if you're Space Force now, if you could pick up a win here, you're going to tie for first in the league in points in the standings and have 3 games in hand. And I think that's kind of a testament just to how good this team is, as you were talking about, just the way that they're built. They are built to compete, they're built to win, and they're built to do so in every single zone, offensive, neutral, and defensive zone. This team is just built to go very deep in the 239 playoffs.
Yeah, I'm looking right now because I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that they're a team that typically dominates the other team in time on attack. It looks like they are behind Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in that statistic, which is the same number of games played, and behind the Mustard Tigers, but the Mustard Tigers have about 6 games more played than they do, at least what's on the site right now. But yeah, they're a team that can really dominate you. They're going to control the puck. They're going to move it really fast. But the championship dropouts, they're a team that can get sneaky good too, and they're gonna come at you with a lot of skill up front. Float and Dangles HD can both move the puck really well. They can dangle through the opposition just as well. And Agent on the other side, he's a guy that can dish the puck really well too. I mean, like, he's not going to be the offensive focal point. I think that's 100% Float. But he's a guy that's going to get that puck to Dangles and Float and watch them do what they need to do to get the goals. And he's a guy that can get open and press up. And you need that for a line. So, I wouldn't count them out in this game. I think that they can definitely get it done moving forward here.
In some ways, it's one of those things when you get blown out in the middle game of a series that you wonder how a team responds. You see in game 1, the overtime winner for the championship dropout, Space Force gave up that first goal in game number 2, and then just seemed to have something click with them where they just went on an absolute tear. For a team like the Dropouts, when you give up 5 consecutive goals to close out that game and end up losing in game 2, we'll see what kind of momentum swing or energy that may give them, that what fire it may give them for Game 3 to see if they can take home a series victory, or maybe even at the very maybe force another overtime here to make sure that they're at least averaging 1 point per game. They do have one win under their belts. They picked that up in game number 1, which was worn with these uniforms. So we'll see what happens here, but a huge opportunity early. Power kill with some time. Huge toe save. A sprawling stop is made. Another opportunity. Stop swallowed up by the chest protector of 37. What a huge chance for Space Force right off the drop.
Yeah, not sure what happened with the championship dropouts defense there, but Power Kill and Barrett were both behind them. It was a 2-0 down low, and 37 just did the spread eagle and took it away from Power Kill, but that's not something that you want to do right in the beginning of the game here.
Dropouts trying to set up offensively for the first time in this game. Long shot was blocked, went off the body of Barrett. Another opportunity here. Third opportunity finally gets through. A nice glove save made by Puff, and he'll hang on for the whistle with about 4 minutes gone by here in what has been a back and forth first period thus far.
Now, I'll never be totally against the shot because, you know, you're taking a chance to score, but I think Float had Dangles HD on the far post there wide open. I thought that could have happened.
Power kill rushing in, hands it back, and a quick shot and a goal. Anthrax picking up the goal. It is his third of the night.
Yeah, pretty similar play to what I was just talking about. Anthrax gets the puck in the slot and, you know, has a nice little shot, short side on the goalie, and he takes it and his goes in.
Nice long pass up made by Dalai Lamas. He got blown up as he completed that pass, but the Dropout's able to recover, make the steal. They're in the offensive end, cross ice feed, and nice little opportunity there. May have taken a half second too long as Dalai Lama recovered positionally to make sure that that one-timer could not be sent on goal, and then he makes that big hit right behind the net, and a breakout pass. Anthrax looking for his second, beautiful deke, and he goes to the backhand. Nothing 37 could do. Anthrax back-to-back 2-goal games.
Yeah, 37 came out aggressive, tried to get the post check, and just wasn't able to get it. But championship dropouts defense needs to find their way back. They need to no more breakaways, no breakaway for Space Force, because that's gonna kill them moving forward.
Puck back in the Dropouts end here. We are not quite halfway through period number 1 of game 3. Nice steal made and neutralized by Anthrax, and here he comes yet again. Couple of passes, one too many, as Power Kill, I think, was trying to get it back for Anthrax, perhaps, but it ended up being targeted towards Barrett Fiddycal and turned over, intercepted instead. It was either an accidental pass to the wrong player or just maybe the wrong decision as far as which player to try to connect with on that 3-on-2 rush, because that was the one passing lane that was entirely clogged up. But here come another opportunity for Space Force as Barrett tried to spin that one back towards Power Kill, but it was blocked away. Here is Power Kill yet again. His feed back towards center ice was blocked towards the backboards, and now an opportunity again as the puck was just pushed on goal by Anthrax, but the zone cleared by the Dropouts, and here they come on the rush. That centering feed goes off the body of Sea-Doo and towards the corner. They'll skate it out. Barrett Fiddycal crossing center ice, Dangles with it. I think he would have been offside if he had grabbed the puck, but it was intercepted anyway. Dropouts back in the offensive end. Great job there at Power Kill with that quick little lift of the stick and pick in the pocket, but an opportunity offside instead for the championship Dropouts. 5:21 left in the first.
Yeah, Space Force comes out strong, gets 2 goals, but I like what I've seen from the championship Dropouts so far too, aside from the defensive breakdowns. They've had more chances offensively than they did in the last game, pretty much through the whole last game already, and I feel like they're playing a little bit more aggressively. They're following up each other. They're giving each other good lanes.
Power Kill leading the rush, hands it over for Sea-Doo in the offensive end. Pinching in down low is the defenseman. Sea-Doo pushes it in, and that is a defenseman goal. Sea-Doo getting on the board. 4th goal of the season for Sea-Doo.
Yeah, Sea-Doo doesn't get on the board a whole lot, but she can definitely make plays like that, and gets a little give and go with Anthrax down in the corner. And yeah, good play by them. I'm sorry, that was Power Kill in the corner, not Anthrax.
I was just making sure that I had the names right because it's I see zombie and I'm like, okay, that's somebody.
That one's
But
Dolly. I'm pretty positive about.
it is a 3-0 game. Space Force wasting no time to jump out to another big lead. Here's a nice opportunity
Ooh,
for the dropouts though. The puck though forced towards the corner. Long shot taken. Great stick in the lane. Sea-Doo just knocking that one down about 5 feet in front of the crease. And that leads to this rush the other way. Quick shot ends up going wide from Anthrax. Anthrax getting the puck back and blown up. Here comes a break, but that is
no
the end
time.
of the first period. Just ran out of time on that one. The dropouts needed about 8 more seconds in that first period to try to get an offensive chance. But 2 big goals scored by John Mellencamp, a.k.a. Anthrax, including that beautiful little backhander.
Yeah, you can tell that Anthrax is feeling it. Even at the end of that period there, where he got blown up, he made a good play in the zone, and he had a good shot attempt before that, where that just barely missed the far post. So, Space Force looking good, looking dominant still.
We did get another look at a very nice save early on by 37, who just got the toe out there on a 2-on-0. Made a big stop, but yeah, shots on goal 6-1 in the first period. In this game, they were 8-1 in the first period in game number 2. And I mean, game number 2, the score was 2-1 after one. Now here in game 3, a 3-goal deficit for the championship dropouts. Now, the upside, if you want to find that, if you're trying to find a silver lining, if you're trying to find something here for the dropouts, is you've got 2 full periods to try and score 3 goals, or at least become a +3 over the next 2 periods. You don't have to rush it like they would have in game number 2 when they fell back, 3-1 after 2. The downside is obviously you're down 3-0, but the upside at the very least is if that was just 1 period and you can win the next 2, you have time to come back. But here comes a quick rush for Space Force to open up the period, turnover, and now we'll see if the dropouts can get something going in the offensive end to open up this period. Really nice chance, but again, the defenseman there, Sea-Doo, getting in the lane, making the steal, and forcing the puck wide as we have an offside stoppage about 90 seconds into the period.
I like the look that the dropouts are given. They're breaking out of the zone a little bit earlier, and it's giving them some room through the neutral zone to be able to get in the offensive zone, set up, and either make a play quick off the rush or try and set up and make a play off of that. But I feel like they're getting more zone time, and looking at that between periods, they go from 20 seconds in the first period of this game 2 to a full 2 minutes, and I think they even out time on attack Space Force in the first period. But their passing was better, the time on attack was better. It's just they needed to bury some goals here.
Here come the dropouts, rushing in, the puck down low, maybe looking for that wraparound, but ended up going off the back of the net, and then it was turned over. Power kill in the offensive end now for Space Force. Trying to center that one. May have been looking for Sea-Doo, but there were a couple of players in the lane from the dropouts as they completed a steal. And now trying to enter the offensive end are the dropouts, but a little bit of trouble getting into the zone. They do now. Here comes the dropouts. Centered feed right down low. A big opportunity. I think he hit the side of the net. And then Sir Puffington makes the stop on the second chance effort from Flode.
Yeah, just a little late on that shot there by Dangles. If he had one time that, I think that's a goal.
Face off won by the dropouts. They control. Long shot taken. Almost caught Puff out of position as he had slid way across the crease. And the shot went back towards the other side to his left. But a nice job there of recovering by Puff and reaching out, at least kicking that puck away.
Yeah, Ian was shooting to square there. He was, anticipating that Puffington might overplay him a little bit on the one side and shot the other way. And there's Anthrax again, picking up the hat trick. Barrett 50 cal coming in, just making the play for Anthrax. It's a 4-0 game. It's tough.
Yeah, Big turn of events on that one. I love the side. It's Mellencamp time. It's time for some smooth music. A little John Mellencamp. Uh, or a hat trick. It's just a man. That's I love when the player names end up being used for certain signs and they just work out like that well. As another huge chance turns into a rebound opportunity for Power Kill, but a big stop by 37, making sure to keep this as a 4-goal game, a 4-goal deficit for his team. Space Force, the opportunities that they have generated have just been, I mean, just high percentage chances.
Yep.
It's they're not really building their shot total in, just random little wrist shots just to throw it on net. When they're getting the puck on the net, it's every single time it's a threat to go in. As that was a nice little centering feed from behind the net by, I believe that was Flode centering that one, but a good job of recovering by Puff as he had some help with the defenseman, making sure that puck did not get sent on goal at the same speed that the dropouts were intending.
Yeah, Dropouts just not getting any breaks here. Flode tried to wrap that and just got a bad animation that caught him up on the back of the net, so he couldn't get around the front, and Dangles wasn't able to pick it up.
Dropouts again trying to rush, but again, the defenseman, Dalai Lama, Sidu, their positioning has been outstanding, and it results in yet another turnover and a rush the other way. Good job defensively by the Dropouts getting in there and knocking that centering feed away, as the Space Force team had connected with about 2 or 3, and they went for another one, and it was finally knocked away. Anthrax has the hat trick, circling with it, gives it back for Dalai Lama, goes to Sidu. She'll move with the puck, cross the red line, and try to take it across the other blue line before just backhanding it in deep. Getting there first is Power Kill. Hands it off for Dalai Lama. Skating in, pinching in as the defenseman Dalai Lama tries to take that little quick wrister, but it was blocked entirely and cleared out of the zone back for Sidu at her own blue line.
Yeah, Dolly almost had that far post there.
Sidu brought the puck in and lost it. 90 seconds left to go here in the second period. A 4-0 lead for Space Force. 1 goal in this period. It was Anthrax's 3rd of the game and 5th of the night. Long shot, redirected in front, and on the board are the championship dropouts. That one credited to Flode on the shot from the defenseman.
Yeah, Newfie Bruins just moving across the blue line to open up that shooting lane, and Flode was nice and high there to get a tip that would cause a big redirect, and was able to get that in.
Bangles getting the secondary assist on that one. So we're in the final 10 seconds. So Dropouts at least getting on the board, making sure they're going into the third period with the same deficit they entered the second period, as it is now a 4-1 game. 1 goal aside, Anthrax scoring his 3rd for Space Force, and Flode getting that redirect in front to at least get the Dropouts on the board as we take another look at John Mellencamp's hat trick goal here.
Yeah, just good plays by Space Force all around. Their defense is getting up to the forwards quick. Their forwards are making good, quick one-touch passes through the zones to be able to create opportunities. They're rotating really well. If Dalai Lama goes down, it doesn't even have to be Barrett that's back there covering them. Power Kill will cover them. They're just cycling really well. They're moving the puck around really well. It's impressive to watch.
The numbers very close across the board, especially in that period where the shots were 3-2 in favor of the Dropouts. And I know, broadcasters jinx on everything, but we have not seen a penalty taken in this game compared to the 7 we saw in Game 2 and the handful that we saw in Game number 1. So it's been a pretty clean game so far in Game number 3, although a lot of goals split 4-1 in favor of Space Force with 20 minutes left to go as the Dropouts try to get things going here in the third. We'll see if they can put on a big performance in this third period and try to get this game close. It'll be a rush for Space Force here. Anthrax with the hat trick. Feeds it back for Dalai Lama. In the low slot, try to get it back for Anthrax right on the doorstep, but the pass was intercepted. Nice read by Ian to take that one away. Barrett Fidical moving with it. Enters the zone onside. Loses possession, but trying to steal it back as Anthrax and Barrett, both of them all over the championship dropouts, but they're unable to complete the takeaway as the puck is cleared out of the zone. Here comes Barrett trying to split the defense, now going wide and trying to get right back in between them, but lost possession of the puck as he tried that second or third deke.
Yeah, if you see Dolly and Sea-Doo in this game, they're just so good at taking the puck off the player's stick and then immediately getting it up to their forwards. Their forwards are reading that they're going to get the puck, and they're just immediately getting it up to create rush chances for their team.
Sea-Doo's centering pass attempt ended up getting knocked around off a couple skates and ended up nearly just gliding into the net, but 37 able to reach out that right leg pad and at least prevent it from crossing the goal line before covering up for the whistle. 14:05 left to go in this game as Barrett wins it right back. Dalai Lama's shot deflected off a couple of defending players from the dropouts in front and never made its way through. Sea-Doo knocked off the puck and knocked down, but recovers quickly and gets back into position as she and Dalai Lama have switched sides, at least momentarily, for the rush. Quick feed and a shot taken by Dangles, but a save made by Puff, hanging on with 12:43 to go.
Yeah, good save by Puff. That play's been there a couple times for the championship dropouts, where they're coming around on that side of the ice specifically, where they're just able to threaten with that wraparound and find that pass in the middle of the ice. That's how they scored in the game 2 as well.
Anthrax making the feed. Now Barrett behind the net. Maybe thinking wraparound, but the centering feed, and it's knocked in. Power kill, picking up the goal. It is 5-1.
Yeah, pretty much the same play on the other side of the ice. Guy comes around, looks like he might wrap it, might stuff it short side, but just finds the high player in the high slot for an easy tap in.
You see that rush, that beautiful pass set up that opportunity for the dropouts. I believe that was Flode trying to split the defense. The positioning was there, but defensively, both Sea-Doo and Dalai Lama reaching out to simultaneously knock that puck away.
Yep.
And turn what could have been a breakaway into a non-chance for the dropouts. Just the positioning defensively of this pairing is just outstanding.
Absolutely. Obviously, they're very comfortable with each other. They know where they're going to be. There's another Anthrax goal off the face-off.
John Mellencamp making a comeback like we haven't seen in decades.
Barrett 50 cal has been really good on the draws as well. To mention that as well, he's won a lot of faceoffs for them since he's come in.
He's been a big part of this offense. He's been a big part of the offense and the defense. Having him in the lineup, allowing Dalai Lama to shift back to left D instead of left wing, like we saw him play in the first game of the series. It's when this team has their full lineup intact. It's just, I mean, we talked about it a lot. It's just really tough to hang with. Is another little give and go there between Barrett Fidical and Powerkill trying to get it back to Barrett down low, but the puck was knocked away on that final pass, because otherwise nothing 37 probably would have been able to do with that one.
Yep.
Barrett with it again as Anthrax made the steal and got it to him. Sea-Doo gets it down low for Barrett. Try to get it for Dalai Lama for a little one-time ripper, but that pass was intercepted. Puck still in deep, and now finally cleared out by the dropouts. 4.5 to go here in the third as they enter the offensive end. And another huge steal made by Dalai Lama in a quick pass that didn't connect as he wanted it to, but it ended up getting up to Powerkill anyway. Centering feed on the one-timer. Anthrax has 5.
They're just not able to stop him here. I think that was Powerkill using the little half spin move to open up the passing lane to him, and championship dropouts D just can't get in those lanes.
Anthrax now with 7 goals in this 3-game series. He had 2 in game 2 and now has 5 here in game number 3. Had 21 goals through 18 games earlier this season, entering the night. And not that that's bad by any means, averaging more than a goal a game, but holy cow, 7 goals in 3 games. And here comes Barrett on the break-in and just tucks it in on the breakaway. Barrett Fidical has turned this one, really just into a runaway for Space Force.
Barrett gets bumped from behind while he's holding backhand, and the puck comes off his stick and just slowly drifts into the net because 37 dove, thinking he would go to the forehand.
This is an 8-1 game. Dalai Lama pinching in deep. I mean, why not at this point? Power kill trying to set something up, got knocked off the puck, and the puck finally cleared out of the zone. We're going to have an odd man rush for the first time in a long time for the Dropouts. Beautiful diving effort, but it caused a delayed penalty, and on the rebound, tucking it in is Dangles to at least stop the bleeding a little bit as Dangles getting on the board here.
Yeah, Cedo made a good play. Wasn't able to stop the rebound. That just is what it is sometimes. Up 8-1. No reason why not. Dali can't step up in the offense and see if they can extend their lead even further.
47 seconds left as the faceoff goes to Space Force, but turnover and neutral ice, and another one here. Power kill entering the zone. Moving along the board, just banks it in deep for Barrett, and now Anthrax, who has 5, fed Dalai Lama. That pass was intercepted, or at least the shot was blocked and taken away. Great recovery by Cedo, and now a breakout the other way. Here's an opportunity on a 2-on-1. Going for the pass instead, another pass as well. Cedo got it down low. They're trying to get Anthrax the double hat trick, I think is what this is. Dalai Lama with the puck. Feeds Anthrax. There it is. That is 6. It is the 2x hat trick. And this game is, as if there was any doubt, it is now 9-2.
Yeah, that whole rush was, how are we going to get Blue the puck?
Dalai Lama again on the rush. Little flick of the stick and the backhander on goal as 37 makes a save and plays it out. And that will do it. A 9-2 statement win for Space Force, who between games 2 and 3 managed to outscore championship Dropouts 14-3.
Yeah,
that is
that's
as
a lot
much
of
of a
goals.
statement as you're going to make.
That's a lot of goals. Space Force, I felt like they completely dominated Game 2. I thought like championship Dropouts had more chances in Game 3, but it seems like it came at the cost of their defense. And Space Force was just able to dominate on the scoreboard in Game 3. 9-2 is a gigantic win.
So as we wrap things up here, Pale and Farbsy, I always like to get the 3 stars of the series. We cannot forget, Championship Dropouts did win Game 1. They won it in overtime. So 5 points earned by Space Force in this series, 2 for the Championship Dropouts. If we're looking at the 3 stars of the series, I think it's pretty clear who the first star of the series is. But who do you got for your 3 stars overall?
I normally like to go with one from each team at least, but for this one, I think I'm going to get away from that a little bit. For my 3rd star, I'm going to go with Dalai Lama. I think he had a great first game on offense, and I think he was stellar on defense through 2 and 3. My 2nd star, I'm going to go with Barrett 50 cal. The offense changed when he came in, and he looked great out there. He was great on faceoffs. He was creating tons of chances, and obviously, number 1, Anthrax is out there threatening to get Ovech tricks, and the guy looked great. Made a lot of great plays outside of Game 3 as well. Just a dominant performance by him.
Barrett Fidical, by the way, now with 3 goals on the night, is up to 28 goals on the season. Anthrax entered today with 21 goals, and thanks to his performance, now has 29, and now has the team lead in goals. That is unbelievable. He played 1 extra game, but he did not register a goal in game number 1. I agree with you on the players. I might swap Dolly with Barrett simply because of the play of Dalai Lama and Cedo as a defensive pairing in games 2 and 3. For game 1, Dalai Lama was the offense for Space Force, and Barrett joining the team for games 2 and 3 really did change just how unbelievable the offense was for this team in the last 2 games. But I think that you have to say a lot about, especially in game 2, the way that the defense played for Space Force, and that is Dalai Lama and Sidu, with the way that they worked as a tandem. So kind of as a way of giving a nod to the defense, both Sidu and Dalai Lama, I would put Dalai Lama as the second star of the series. But I agree with you. I mean, you can't go wrong with 2 or 3 for Dalai Lama and Barrett Fidikal in that one. And yeah, Anthrax has to be, obviously, the first star of this series. Just what an unbelievable performance to get 6 goals. And not just 6 goals, but
A
at
couple of
least 1 or 2
assists too
assists.
as
Yeah,
well. I think he had 8 points in that game. Yep.
just absolutely incredible. And then a pair of goals in game number 2, including the game winner, the go-ahead goal, and at least 2 assists in game 2 as well. So just an unbelievable performance against a good team in Championship Dropouts, and a team that did have moments, and they obviously came away with 2 points in game number 1, and they had their moments in game number 3. Game number 2 was dominated, but yeah, just an impressive performance by Space Force here, and a statement, I think, by them to the league that they are a team to be reckoned with as we approach the postseason. So, Pale, as we wrap things up, I will give you the final word. What do you got? Take us home.
Yeah, happy to do the stream again. Had a couple of really great teams in tonight. Really enjoyed that series. Space Force domination notwithstanding, they looked great. Excited to see what they do in the playoffs. As again, I'll mention, we do have a Series of the Week T-shirt in our merch store, and the proceeds from that will be donated to the Hockey Fights Cancer charity. So if you're looking for some 239 merch, you're looking for some Farbsy merch, go check that out, and donate to a good cause.
Absolutely. I've already ordered my shirt. I ordered it as soon as you sent me the link that it was posted. So
Likewise.
yeah. So yeah, make sure you do that. And hey, if you do get the shirt, when you get the shirt in, you could tweet it at me or post it on Instagram and tag me or something like that, at Drew Goldfarb in both of those situations. And just let me know that you got it, because yeah, it goes to a great cause as well. And I was really happy with the design too that you helped bring to life. So I appreciate that as well. So I appreciate everybody watching as well in the 239 Hockey League world. And looking forward to the next time that we get to call a Series of the Week. Space Force picking up 5 points in a series win over the Championship Dropouts. For Pale Poner, I am Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and healthy out there, and we will see you next time.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.